So I'm making progress on my vision board, guys. I'm on the hunt for some magazines, some travel magazine, home and garden. Is this where I'm at? Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. It is Saturday and I'm back today with another video. Hope you guys are having a really good start to your Saturday. It's a rainy Saturday here in Memphis. It has been raining all week, guys. I feel like we need to get our boats out. Noah need to bring the ark through here. But guys, it has been raining. It's supposed to be doing a lot of flash flooding today. So I'm staying at home today and I wanted to come today with another video, guys. Hope you guys have been enjoying the videos. I was having a moment last week, just wanting some warm summer days, and I put up like different pictures and clips of videos from my vacation on last year when I went to the beach, because I was feeling like a beach day, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that little, just like 2 or 3 minute video, guys. It was just for fun, just to say hello. Hope everybody is doing amazing. But today we're going to be talking about living your best life. Living your best life. I know you guys have heard that phrase quite often, and I know sometimes people can blow it way out of proportion. We know that. But what does it really mean to you to live your best life? And I just wanted to kind of break it down just a little bit and give you some thoughts that can help you start collecting thoughts on how you can live your best life. And you guys know it's Saturday, so you know what time it is. It's time for a coffee break, guys. Hello, beautiful. So I'll be having my coffee while I'm having this conversation with you guys today. And it's not real early, but it's not real late either. It's just a little bit after 10. So yeah, having coffee. Okay, so we're gonna jump right into it. Want to say hello and to all of my new subscribers, welcome, welcome. Thank you for becoming a part of the Fab Crew. If you're just viewing this video today and you're just passing through, please feel free to join us. Hit that subscribe button right down here, guys. I would love to have you. And to all of my ride or dies, welcome back, guys. And I just appreciate all of you and all of your comments and everything that you have been saying. Guys, it's a little warm in here. So I'm going to take a moment and adjust my heat, okay? All right, guys, we're back. So I just took a few notes because, you know, I want to stay on track and keep my thoughts in check. So I took a few notes, just things that I think about. Now, number one, I think that in order to live your best life, you got to identify with what it means to you to live your best life. A lot of times we're looking around at everybody else and what everybody else is doing, and we're measuring ourselves and our lives against other people who have all different types of incomes and, you know, material possessions, and we're feeling that in order to live your best life, you got to measure up to that stuff. But that is actually not true. What does it mean to you to live your best life? And I think if you sit down and you're taking just a self-analysis of what living your best life means to you, you might come to realize that it really doesn't take that much, you know, because a lot of times we think that it does. And I'm talking to you about something that I've done for myself, because for so many years, and I think our minds are programmed that we see things. That's what television is for. That's why television and radio is good advertisement to purchase things, because it is programmed to feed your mind, and something that you hear continuously over and over again, you start to believe it. So when we see things, we feel like we need to have that car, we need to have that house, we need to have those clothes, we need to have designer clothes. You know, our mind starts to believe that those are the things that we have to have in order to say we are doing it. So you need to sit down and be honest about yourself, honest about where you are in your life, and decide what it means to live your best life for you. And like I said, I think you'll be surprised. So that's number one. You have to identify what it is, what it takes for you to say you're living it. It could be your financial means, you know, money could be it. You know, what does it require? How much money does it require for you to do the things that you want to do, to acquire the things that you need in your life? It could be a job. You know, what makes you happy. A lot of times people, I would say the majority of people are doing things that they really don't enjoy doing. I think most people work at jobs because of the income, because of what it brings them, and they're not happy. Oftentimes I've seen where people, attorneys and doctors, went to school all these years, 8 years plus, getting educations and work these jobs, and they're very unhappy, and they leave these jobs and then they open a little bed and breakfast, or maybe go volunteer in another country and do things pro bono, you know, not even receiving money. They're just working off of sponsors and people who donate to them, donations. Sometimes people open a little shops, little craft shops, knowing that they were making 6-7 figure incomes, and they, you know, decide that they want to do something else because they rather do something that makes them happy versus something that's just going to bring them income. So you have to decide that. Is it a relationship? Do you want to be married? You know, are you happily married? You know, are you doing everything in that relationship to bring that happiness? Because we know, we're learning that happiness is self. You have to be able to make yourself happy. Another person, it's not another person's responsibility to make you happy. You should be able to be happy with yourself first, and then allow that person to share in that happiness with you while you're sharing with them in their happiness. And that's what happiness truly is. Is it children? Are you longing to be a parent? Were you that person that was unable to have children and you want to be a parent? There's so many kids out there that needs parents, a big brother, a big sister. There are programs where you can actually volunteer. Or if you want to look at adoption, you know, there's children all over the world who need parents, who need good parents. What does it take to make you happy and live your best life? Eliminating debt. Now, this was one of mine because, as I said, with the TV and advertisement and things that we hear every day, is programmed to make you feel like you need things. When I was growing up as a child, I didn't have a lot because, you know, my mom, you know, she had 4 children. And even though she was married, just providing, you know, back in those days, you know, providing clothing and feeding and housing and all of that was very expensive. So I was that child that had to get things that my older sibling had, so they called them hand-me-downs. So all of her clothes, I had to get them when she outgrew them. She was the one who got more new clothes than we did as younger siblings. So, you know, I never knew I had felt to just say, oh, this is something that nobody else has ever worn at a certain part of my life. You know, I didn't know that because I was constantly getting things from my older siblings, and not saying there's anything wrong with that, but as you get older, your mind is telling you that, you know, I'd be glad when I can grow up and I can buy my own clothes and I can get my own shoes and I can do this and do that. So my mind was telling me that, because my mom was one of those mothers who was like, look, I'm not trying to keep up with the Joneses. I'm not trying to make you look like your friend is at school. I'm not trying to buy you the designer clothes. As long as you have clean clothes, as long as your shoes are not worn down, then you should be happy. So that's what she did. And so the things that I wore weren't always the best. They weren't the top of the line. You know, they came from dollar stores sometimes, but we were always clean. So that was one thing that she did. We were clean. We wasn't raggedy. And, you know, but as I said, TV and people around you, your peers, you know, you try to keep up with them. So growing up, when I became a young adult, you know, I thought I had to have all of these things. So I did a lot of overspending when I got to the point where I was making decent money. I bought a whole lot of clothes and shoes and purses and things like that, feeling like that was going to make me feel like I had arrived. Only to realize the only thing it did for me was create debt. So sometimes we feel like purchasing things. People do it. It's very extravagant. They go buy all these homes, and you spend your life working to be able to pay for those things that you've purchased. You know, I have friends who are driving Mercedes and live in affordable homes where you are living in homes that are based on your income. So you really can't afford to have that car because you can't afford to pay the rent you have, because you're living in a home where that the government provides you to live based on your income, but you go out and you purchase this very expensive car. It might not have been a brand new one, but knowing that the maintenance on this car is going to be so extravagant that it's going to keep you broke. And then they're stressing over how to get their car fixed and just to look the part of having things or having arrived. And they feel that that's living their best life, but you're going home every day, you're stressing, you're wondering how you're going to pay that bill. And that was me. I had never been that person with the extravagant car, but I did overspend. And at a point in my life, and I spent so much time working that I couldn't enjoy the things that I purchased because I had overspent. You know, raising children for a big portion of my life single, I went without. You know, I was making sure that they had the things that they had, so I would make sure I didn't have anything. So once those kids got older and grown, was leaving home, I started, you know, buying things for myself. And not saying there's anything wrong with that, but when you live outside of your means, that's when it becomes a problem. So I'm stressing over, you know, this credit card debt that I need to pay off because I had overspent. So that can get you in that vicious cycle, and you're not living your best life, sweetheart. You are really worrying about how you're going to make it. So that is, you know, something that you need to look at, an area of your life that you might need to look at. Identify those things that will make you feel like you're living your best life, you know, that's going to make you happy, that you can be content in, and you're not worrying and you're not stressing, you know, being able to do the things that you want to do. Like for me, now that I have gotten over 50 years old, I'm an empty nester. You know, all of my children are on their own. They're doing well on their own. They're taking care of themselves. I don't have to worry about, oh, I got to make sure I got this little nest egg here so that I can give that to them in case they fall upon themselves. Not saying that couldn't happen, but I'm not worrying about that as much. I can use some of my savings and the things that I'm doing for myself so that I can do those things that I like to do. And I love to travel, guys. And starting in 2019 is starting my year of traveling. Now, I've always taken vacations, but I wanted to do it on a broader scale, like travel more outside of the country. And so that is one of the things I want to do. That's living my best life. It's not so important for me now to have all of these material things, more so than it is for me to be able to bask in the happiness of life, seeing things, seeing the world, meeting people, experiencing cultures. For me, that's living my best life. And that's what you need to identify. Are you someone who loves to paint? Are you a photographer? Do you like going out doing those things? Find out what areas of life it is for you that you enjoy and what it will take for you to be able to do that. For me, being able to leave corporate America in the next 3 years, because I have always done jobs that I have not enjoyed. Now, I did enjoy a little bit when I was in the hospitality industry when I was a manager, but I knew that that was not something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. You know, my dream when I went in that was to one day have a bed and breakfast. I wanted like a 10-room bed and breakfast that I could run and manage. And, you know, that was my whole point of getting into that field. But, you know, as you grow, your interests and things change. But for me now, I enjoy doing what I do. I enjoy, you know, actually encouraging and inspiring and motivating people to do things, to live their life, to be authentic. So I would love to be able to have meetups and workshops around the country doing this. And in order to do that, I have to be able to work toward freeing myself of debt so that I can do those things and travel so that I can meet people. And guys, I do have a small little actual meetup group that I'm going to have, that one of the ladies here that I know here in my city has a little art gallery. She's going to donate her space for me to be able to have this actual Saturday workshop, I'll call it something like that, where we actually get together and with a bunch of women. I'm going to tell you more about that. So being able to do those types of things is living my best life, guys. That's what I want to do. And I want to go into some other things that I was going to talk about. I am trying to become an importer, African importer. So I'll go into that later on. But those are things that I want to do. I want to sit at home in my pajamas on my computer running my business and taking care of myself. So you have to sit down and make a plan. That was what my vision board is for, so I can see what it is that I want to do. Put it down, even though it might seem like it's 10 years down the road for you. Put it down in a journal, you know, plan it out, what it will take to get there. If you're not planning, guys, if you're not thinking about those things that you need to stop doing, overspending, you know, going out to eat all the time. Now, I do go out to eat all the time, but it's not on my dime. So I can share that with you guys. But whatever it is that you do that causes you to not be able to do those things, you have to make a conscious decision that I have to stop doing these things. You know, you can't continue to try to impress people. You know, I don't do the whole manicure thing. Even though I enjoy getting my nails done, I enjoy the pamper sessions. I might do that once or twice a year. But I'm not one of those sisters that go get my nails done all the time. You know why? Because that is like just a budget that I don't need to factor into the things that I already have. Now, let me just give this disclaimer. I'm not telling women to stop doing that. I'm talking about my personal spending, my personal finances, because I do have a lot of things that I have on me based on the lifestyle that I've lived, you know, loans that I've taken out for my kids and helping them and different things like that that are on me, you know, so I have to try to rid myself of that debt to be able to live in those comforts of manicures and stuff. Not do it when I want to go somewhere, you know, I have some event I need to attend, but I have to decide what works for me and my budget in order to be able to live in this space that I said I want to live in and live in my best life. Having 200 pairs of shoes to me was just outrageous. So I started decluttering and getting rid of those things, because when I thought about it, I couldn't wear those shoes all the time. I couldn't, you know, I could even wear all of them. You know, sometimes the next year would come and I had shoes, not one or two, sometimes 10 pairs of shoes that I had never stuck my foot in other than when I decided to purchase them. So I had to decide what areas of my life needed to be cut down so that I could live my best life. And that is how you do it. You have to get a plan, get your journal and sit down and figure out what areas you need to eliminate, what you need to subtract from, what you need to add to in order to get to that spot of living your best life. Hope this was helpful, guys. I'm not meaning to offend anybody. If I'm stepping on your toes, and just do a self-analogy of your life, because we do. Sometimes we live outside of our means and we can't get there because we're stuck trying to take care of all those things. So we have to decide what we need to do in order to get there. So I hope this is helpful, guys. Hope that you just, you know, take that time to examine yourself and work on those areas that will bring you the happiness that you need so that you can live your best life. Living your best life is not living in a $2 million home. It could be a very inexpensive home, but it could be yours and paid for. You know, I'm going to end on this note. Our former president, and he was back in the 80s, Jimmy Carter. I don't know if a lot of you remember him. He still lives in the same $150,000 home he purchased before he became a president. Now, you know he's living well, but that house is paid for probably 10 times over. And he's enjoying his life because he don't have that thought of debt, and you don't have to worry about how to take care of that. Everything's paid for. So decide what it takes for you to live your best life. And I hope this was helpful to you guys. So ladies, that's all I wanted to share today. I hope you guys just have a wonderful Saturday, a wonderful weekend. And I will see you guys in the next video. And always remember, peace and love. Have a great weekend, guys.